So last night while I was in bed, okay, I had a realization that this building had an elevator. Supposedly, apparently. I even talked about this in the video where I discussed the basement. So the boundary of the wall of the basement, like on the left, when you got down there and you were looking that way, it went along like the edge of what would be the boundary until you get to this room, and then it kind of opened up. And it was just like a veil of darkness back there. I don't remember ever really looking at it. If the elevator was original to this building in 1908, then why did it not go to the top floor? Look at this. Do you see anything on here that like says where an elevator might have been or what any of this shit means? Did it always have an elevator in it? You know, and like where the hell was that? After they built this building, you know, they put that other story on top of the crossroads room area. And there were these balconies. I've been calling them balconies, but maybe this was like elevator areas. I'm thinking about this layout and all of these different rooms, right, that were in there. But like at one time, dude, I feel like this was like a bunch of open space or something. I just really don't know. Because if you look at this, you can see there were doorways here. Dude, these two doorways right here, this was my parents' like bedroom, their original bedroom. This would be like the archway doorway, dude. And this would be the door that led in to this room from the side door entrance. So these two doorways right here are literally the only doorways I can place and know where they are supposed to be. Up through here, man, where it led into the front room, and this would have been my bedroom roughly, like kind of this area would have been my bedroom. Like, where the fuck is this? If that's a doorway, like where was that? See, dude, there was so many changes made to this building. It is just crazy. This phantom window right here that was in the snow cone room, because this eventually got walled in and bricked in to be what became the snow cone room. This phantom window right here was in my parents' bedroom. So it was along that wall right there where the snow cone room was on the other side of it that there was this window. But from our side of the room, like you couldn't see that there was ever a window there. It had simply been walled over. This is roughly where like the main entrance, the glass doors were eventually put. This was kind of bricked in, okay, to be sort of the foyer or whatever. And then this door right here would have been where the boundary of the tile in this bricked in foyer and the carpet of like the actual building started, okay? So there was no door area there. That just opened into the front office. So my bedroom, okay, and then the bathroom, which was the main entrance and the main stairway access to not only the basement, but the actually main stairway of this building was beyond this door. That's the door to the bathroom, you know? So when you open that door, dude, like, you had to walk across that room to get to the light and turn the light on the other side of the room, okay? Over to your right, man, inset in the room was the door that leads to the main stairway access. And then over to on the other side of the room, dude, was the sink, the toilet, and the door to the basement. You would go out of your way to like walk down the halls and use that other bathroom over there across the house. Ghost hunters contacted us to film an episode in the house. And my parents didn't let them because they just didn't want them to see what it looked like inside, basically. You know, that's the bottom line of it. You know, it just wasn't presentable for TV for literally everyone to see. You know, that's how they felt about it. But because we got contacted by them, it got us to thinking. We were like, maybe we should try to do some kind of ghost hunt. But in my bedroom was where we captured like the wildest orbs, dude. You can see like the shape of the reflection of the mirror, like up here on the wall and stuff. So there was a huge mirror over there on that wall, you know what I mean? And I would imagine that any orbs in this photo or these photos could be explained by that, you know what I'm saying? Period. So there's an orb. My dad was purposely trying to like get the mirror too so that we can see, is it just obviously caused by the mirror, right? No orbs. No orbs. No orbs. Okay. No orbs. I don't see any. There's some duplicate pictures on here too, so. Okay, so this one's interesting. So you see the flash right there. Something to do with the flash on the wall right there, dude. But then like, and then there's the mirror right behind me, dude. But look at this, okay? These are the orbs that showed up in this picture. This one right here and this one right here. And there is the mirror back there. So perhaps that's just totally 100 million% explained by the mirror being there, okay? But this orb, especially this one right here, was photographed many times in this room, dude. Several times. So no orbs in that one. I think there's one right there. There's one right there. And again, someday I will post these pictures so that you can just like straight up look at them and stuff, but they're not like posted anywhere right now. And then here's me in my room, and then there's that thick fucking orb, dude. That same orb, dude, that will be captured so many times, and look at it. It's like there's like a hole in the middle of it or something. I mean, that's an orb with dimension right there, dude. That looks like a fucking eyeball or something, dude. Look at that, man. So that's up there, and see. And then there it is. Like, there it is again, dude. But in this picture, you've got the glare off the TV, the glare off the door, and the mirror's in there somewhere. So it's like, you know, totally explainable, isn't it? There's an orb. I think we already saw that one. Is that the same one? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think that's a different picture, because there was like a more pronounced hole in it in the other one. This is me upstairs, dude, okay? This is the door to the attic right here. This is the door that led into the music room, and this was the doorway from the main stair access. Okay, this was a picture upstairs. It's rare to have pictures of upstairs. And this picture right here, dude, okay? This is significant because this was also upstairs toward the left side of the house, okay? And these are closets. This is a room. This is a room. I'll have to draw a diagram someday of what the upstairs looked like, what the layout of it was with regards to the rooms. I have not done that yet, but it's very important to do that, even though I did not spend a lot of time upstairs other than when I lived in that bedroom. This is me in the apartment I wanted. This closet over here, dude, it had paper plates in it and like old soda bottles and stuff from like a party they had in there one time. And it was just like shoved in the closet. It was fun, like, to see that stuff. It was like a time capsule. And this is not looking good, right? This is, dude, I don't even know what the story with that is. It's just like a huge hole in the roof, and this is like the corner of that room. This was the room that has the bitchin' door in it that was on the roof, like, that had one time probably been like a balcony that was probably really pretty, dude. This is the bathroom door, and this is the door that leads out of the apartment into the main, like, upstairs. This is the music room. We were trying to capture some orbs up there. And there's a big one. But there's so much shiny shit in there, and then we're back to the bedroom photo shoots. There's so much shiny stuff in that music room. It's like, I totally get why there'd be an orb there. My bedroom was definitely where the most popping orbs were. Here's another random orb picture. This is me at the fireplace. This is totally MySpace cringe, absolute. Okay. But this is me at the fireplace in the front room, and you see the shiny ass pipe. There's a picture frame with glass on it. There's a lot of places where this could be reflecting off of, but look at the fucking body of that orb, dude. Like, look at the thick ass boundary around it. Just a glowing thick ass boundary around that orb, dude. Like, that's like, I've read about different like ideas about orbs over the years, and I've seen people say stuff like, you know, the thicker and the stronger like the boundary of the orb is, the more likely it is to be a spirit rather than just like a speck of dust or something. These orb photo shoots got weird. I did this one alone. There's all kinds of orbs over here, but it's just like this was taken in the dark and with the mirror there and all this kind of stuff. It's like, come on now. But dude, there was a face in that orb on the mirror. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Do you see that, dude? That's a face. Looks like the face of a kid or something. But you can see it. Eyes, nose, mouth. That's a face. You know, but pareidolia is a thing. And we are, you know, as humans, I think we are programmed to recognize patterns in random stuff and try to figure out if there's a predator after us or if there's somebody else there, like whatever the hell's going on. So, you know, face in an orb sure looks like a face, but, yeah, I don't know. It's up to you to decide. And there was another orb that we caught, and this is up toward the ceiling of my room. Now, this one's probably going to be impossible to see, but I always saw like a cowboy hat and a guy's side profile of his face and like his shirt and stuff down here. I could always see like the side profile view of somebody in that one. Also, this is an orb by the floor where my TV is. So TV, okay, mirror in the room. There's plenty of reasons why an orb would pop off, but that's got a pretty thick boundary on it. Pretty thick edge. This orb right here, several times, okay? These two littler orbs, I think they were even in other pictures with this orb sometimes too. I'm not sure, but I just know that this orb was pictured several times, and I'm going to show you a side by side, okay? So these pictures were taken throughout various orb photo shoots. And this doesn't even include the one that is my computer desk, okay? It's the same orb, though. It's the same fucking orb. But is it the same orb because they're the same reflective surfaces that there's always been in there, and that's, you know, just kind of pops up wherever it pops up due to the reflective surfaces situation? Like, maybe so, okay? But this is a thick, juicy orb. That's a thick orb. That is thick. That is strong and intense. And moving, looks like. And there it is again, you know. And so 3 different pictures, and actually, dude, we were taking pictures on different cameras as well, just to try to see. Like, we were taking the pictures in the dark with the light on, with different cameras. Okay, so these are definitely not all taken with the same camera, and I don't know if that makes a single difference in the world. Okay, but I'm just saying, we were trying to test this shit out, man. Okay. And then we just like stopped doing that and forgot about it. But these are the pictures we took, okay? And this orb, 3 instances of this orb, dude. I'm undecided on that. I think the bigger and fainter the orb is, the more likely it is to be a lens flare, for sure, or a speck of dust. My note says this. This is really, really vague because I can't give a lot of details surrounding like who actually said this to me. But it was like a guy in a chat room, okay? Like, stupid shit, but it was from a online community that I had frequented a lot, and like they knew me and stuff like that and talked to me a lot in there. So you just kind of carry on these conversations and get to know people, but it's a fucking chat room, and like you actually don't know these people and they don't know you from Adam or Eve or whatever, dude. But this dude did say to me one time, he said that I had 2 children around me. I think he said that they were boys. They were like little kids, really little kids. He said, you've got 2 spirits of 2 boys, 2 little kids around you. You know what I mean? And so if orbs are spirits, you know, was I ever photographed with these spirits that he said that he saw around me? Now, I don't believe that shit, okay? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, and I do believe in psychic phenomena. I do believe in mediumship. I do believe in all of that, okay? I do. But come on, guy, please. And especially like kid ghosts around me. Like, why would they be around me, dude? Like, I don't really think that's true. One of my notes I took last night, because I've been kind of curious about this. Does seeing / interacting with ghosts and supernatural cause effects on your body, eyes, etc.? So, and I think the Patreon edit of one of these sessions, I think it was yesterday's actually, I was talking about my eye having that like bloodshot, that permanent bloodshot fork looking like set of veins in it, dude. You can see it, you know. It's permanent. It doesn't go away, and it's been there for a really long time at this point. And I was going through my archives and found a picture of me at like 17 or something. And that was already there, like the fork part of it, and had like a little thing leading off of it. It's gotten bigger, you know what I mean? It's gotten longer across my eye. Could it affect your body somehow to like see and perceive and receive the light from that's like bouncing off and reflecting off of this phenomenon? Because if sun damages your skin over time, right, it's like, why wouldn't other like kinds of light do that? We must be able to affect things too in our fabric of space-time and beyond, right? I think that if this other stuff is real, you better be sure that not only can we do similar things and affect things similarly, but we are also that. yesterday I was talking about the similarities and the parallels between my bedroom, my life as a 17-year-old, and my life now, okay? And I was talking about having this antique piece right here with the pouch on it and everything. Like, I still have that. And there are other objects like the headless guitar that I still have, right? And there are some boxed up childhood keepsakes that I still have that existed in that place, dude. Like, for example, man, I still have that cigar box that I used to put my computer monitor on top of. That cigar box right there is sitting over there on that shelf, and it's got my Cars CD collections, like from the Cars. It's my favorite band, you know, and has been since I was like 15 or 14. But yeah, dude, so I've still got that cigar box. Like, there's just, it's weird to think about all of these random, usually antique items that somehow survive the decades, okay? I said, do old objects and buildings have magical power? Look at how they persist and survive throughout time. And in the case of old buildings, could they eventually potentially have a consciousness too? Could they? Could a building itself have a consciousness? And could that consciousness manifest in entity-like behaviors? Like moving things around? Probably not. It's probably the ghost of freaking Joe Bob or something, you know what I mean? And not like the building itself, you know what I'm saying? But I think it is important to consider that possibility. Because you do hear about like haunted items, haunted objects sometimes. There will be more sessions after this. I've still got to catch us up to when I was 18 and I moved out. When I was 22 and the building burned. Phenomena that extends beyond that regarding my childhood home in some shape, form, or fashion. You know, there's still a lot to cover there, and so that's what I'll be getting to in the next sessions.